In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Hello, friends. Hello, Chadwick.
Hello, friend. Why was I separate from friends, Frank? That's
You're
concerning.
you're in a stratosphere above. You're in the co-host sphere. I feel like it's a different thing.
I approve of this org structure. Yes. Also, thank you to friends and better than friends.
Oh
You know.
my, yeah. Whose whose
Ooh.
whose bread is getting buttered next?
Mhm.
But like I don't know. I just co-host friend. It's like
Hmm.
it's like a square. Like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not necessarily a square. Same deal.
That logic is sound somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Tree falls in the woods kind of sound.
Hmm.
But how are you? You're great. Things are
Do,
good.
doing all right, man. I'm one Turbo Grand Prix shy of what I wanted to be when we spoke. But anyway,
Boy,
let's save that for PCP.
I know. Let us be the podcast that has to push an episode out like a
God.
day and a half late because you were off trying to buy a Turbo Grand Prix, and my spine got
Oh yeah.
Hadoukened by well, segue alert.
There we
Um,
go.
by a Chevrolet Sprint Turbo, a tiny little hot hatch.
Hmm.
And while they might not be the most luxurious vehicles in the world, really any hot hatch, um, like they are great and they are fun. And I had a bit of a time with one this weekend, and I'll discuss that during some PCP.
Ooh.
But it not the spine crippling part, but the actual the concept of the hot hatch, which we've talked about before many moons ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it again.
Dear
Let's
listener,
talk hatches.
he is referencing episode 23, way back in April of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Hatch Talk. So we are hatching out the Hot Hatch conversation again, and aptly so because I think last time we talked, you didn't have a metric shit ton of Hot Hatch experience, Frank, ownership
No,
wise, and now look at you. You have been baptized in fire. You are drinking the Kool-Aid, and you're part of
yeah,
one of us. One of us.
might not be the hottest hatch ever.
Probably not.
Um,
Probably
one of the
not.
more obscure,
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely
but
cool.
I don't want to make this
Mm,
Chevy Sprint Turbo hour.
that's
I
a
do want to
goddamn
make
shame.
this just hot hatches because it really kind of I got my beak wet, and now that I have, I kind of want to dip the whole not too
That works. That
Freud
works.
is involved.
Yeah.
I want to dip the whole bird head into the world of hot hatch, not just the beak. I
Oh,
want to wet my um thorax. I don't know. Um,
your
but gizzard.
abdomen.
Birds have gizzards. I'm gonna wet
Yeah.
my gizzard
That's
in
pretty
the in
deep.
the yeah,
Um,
quite
yeah,
deep.
dude, you fucking hot hatches, man. I've loved hot hatches. I've owned quite a few. I'm gonna lay out my hot hatch resume
Mm-hmm.
just to remind everyone. It's been a few years. Fiesta ST 2014, 2005 Mini Cooper S
Mm-hmm.
supercharged, EG Civic hatch with a D15B VTEC swap. That's pretty hot hatch. That's like legit
Yeah,
hot hatch. EG
yeah.
hatchback with a swap. '09 C30 R design. I
Mm-hmm.
think that counts officially. 92 Ford Escort GT barely squeaks in there, but that's a extremely varied collection of hot hatches I've owned over the years. Everything from Honda swaps to like a more modern Fiesta ST. Love them all, dude. I love every one of them. They were all cool in their own ways, and it's
Yeah.
hot hatch, man. Just like the tagline should be, sporty aspirations with like functionality because you get the hatch, you get usually you just get a spiced up engine, you get great handling. They're just fucking cool. And you can honestly, one car solution, most of them.
Yeah. And what I like is they're just so first off accessibility,
Hmm.
which is a shame because there aren't many hot hatches anymore.
No.
Which like fun at a really good price. Not necessarily any bells and or whistles. They usually tend to be pretty frugally optioned,
Mm,
and they're just so playful.
yeah.
Like that's the
Great
thing.
point.
That's the
Yep.
number one thing is I like a good playful car. I mean, that's at least half of the reason why Miata is the answer because it's so goddamn playful. It's not the
Yep.
fastest, it doesn't handle the best, a little soft out of the box, but
Hmm.
boy, are they playful and eager. And that's kind of really, I don't know if there's a hot hatch that you can say is not playful and not eager.
Oh,
Um,
I think it's an absolute prerequisite to call yourself a hot hatch. You got to have that playful nature, and I think that comes by way of it is based. They're almost always based on like standard economy cars,
mhm,
your regular vanilla stuff you can purchase, but they just spice up that engine. They always spice up the handling's usually tweaked a little bit too, right?
mhm.
No matter how little power you have, you throw a good little gearbox in there, manual gearbox.
Yeah.
Case in point, the Sprint Turbo. Never going to win any drag races, but boy, just
Mm-mm.
rowing your gears, revving it out. And hot hatches
Lightweight.
tend to be more lightweight.
Yeah.
The C30R design definitely not a lightweight car. That was
No.
probably the heaviest hatch on the list I just did. But yeah, they're usually smaller, more diminutive in shape and size and weight. And God damn it, man, I don't know. They're right up there. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I like supercars." I don't know. I think I take if I'm going to go on a fun canyon, like a very tight technical road. Mini Cooper S comes to mind. Fiesta ST comes to mind. I'm going for one of those bad boys. I think the level of engagement, the amount of fun you have doing that, and the fact
Yeah.
that they can legit hang with some of the faster cars on those kind of roads.
Yeah. I mean, it's because the roads you and I and the people we tend to hang out with like to drive aren't these huge, crazy high mile an hour sweepers.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, those roads are fun, right? But like I much prefer the smaller, tighter, twistier technical stuff.
Hmm.
And that's like right at home in a hot hatch where you're just hand over hand, you
Oh,
know,
so good.
modulating throttle and brake and doing a bunch and really making one of those little cars work
Yep.
and never putting yourself in a position or make it not never, but it's far more difficult to put yourself in a situation where your teeth are in the back seat
Sure. Yeah.
versus like GT 500 or whatever. Um, yeah, it's my type of hype. Plus, I like a car with whimsy, and hot hatches kind of by definition have some whimsy in them.
Yeah, always, kind of a character. They always stand out in a
Mm-hmm.
crowd. They always look a little interesting. Boy, yeah, and I know you just took a hatch on a rally. I had that stock Mini Cooper S, right? Not
Yeah,
even on exceptional tires, and
they're so good.
I was running with the Fast Boys that entire rally, and boy, it's you just can't beat it, like especially if you get the handling sorted, and that was all stock.
Mm-hmm.
Modifications, and you have the whole world ahead of you with these kind of cars. And like you said, accessibility. Most of the time, these hot hatches are priced very affordably. You can
Mm-hmm.
go out and get them. There's like, of course, the Civic Type R's and things like that. Current market stuff.
Right.
I affordable, I guess, but they're not cheap, right? They're not like economy
Yeah, and I
boxes like
struggle.
they used to
I
be.
mean, technically, a Civic Type R is a hatch, but like
Yeah, I know.
I
I hear
struggle
you.
to call that a hatch. I
It's
mean,
very
what's
true.
four-door hatches are that rear overhang has to be so small. Like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
the distance between the rear door and the back of the rear bumper can't be more than 2 feet. Like I don't know.
I think
Like
that's
that
why
feels right, but like
the Fiesta ST looks so good too, because it's a four
mhm.
door here in the States and
Yep,
the right amount of no
yeah,
overhang in the back, right?
yeah. Like a Focus ST or RS absolutely feels like a hatch.
Yep.
The Gurrola does. The four door STI does. But something like the WRX, right? Like the bug
Mm,
eye, they call that a wagon, and I
that's
think that's fitting.
yeah,
But it's
I agree.
close. It's close to a hatch,
I
right?
think
There's
that
some semantics there.
yeah, the like what was it, the '08 newer, those were hatches for
That was
sure.
that was hatchy, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was definitely
it's like
hatchy.
a subtle. It feels like it's probably a more subtle difference than we kind of give it credit, right? We don't like to think about it. It's like I know a hatch and a wagon when I see it. Like
Sure.
what was the thing like the thing in like the 80s and the 90s like in Congress. It's just like I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it. Similar to a hatch versus a
I
wagon.
can't define it, but I can get down on it.
Yeah, but boy, have I made a bunch of it.
Mm,
But no, like yeah, four-door hatches are interesting. The classic two-door
hmm. Yeah.
hatch is such a fun thing, and it's sad they are very well dead.
Yeah. Gone.
Um,
Can you get? I'm trying to think, and I do have a list of like recent hits.
GR Yaris in Mexico. I think that's all you can get.
Right. Yeah. So here's recent hits. This is and recent for us as we get older, kind of reaches back a little further in in time. But
Right.
I put Honda Civic Type R. I put Hyundai Veloster N.
Yeah.
Ford Focus Fiesta ST. Volkswagen GTI still alive. GR Corolla Fiat 500 Abarth. Definitely a hot hatch worth mentioning. And Mini Cooper S is still kicking. Can you get a two-door GTI anymore?
I just looked it up because I knew this was coming.
Yeah, you felt it.
2016. So the Mark
Holy
7
shit.
was the last year you can get it.
Okay.
I didn't know if it went to 7.5. And honestly, I'm not up on my GTI like generations.
I know they're damn good cars. I think the Mark 7 was a really good generation. But that body looks fine with four doors. I think I would go for a four door, just for the functionality. But you're right. If you're going to get a classic, and more than likely it's probably going to be a two door, it's going to be boxier, and I like that kind of hatch too.
Yeah, like man, I'd love to own like a Mark III GTI VR6.
Oh yeah,
which is like it's going to be a little nose heavy. It's going to be but it's cool. It's boxy. It's upright.
Yep.
Even a Mark IV, right? I know the R32 gets all the pub, and that's kind of rightfully so, but standard Mark IV GTIs are rad.
You got to get
the one of those.
What is it? The 20th anniversary edition with the cool Recaros and everything. Those are
the special wheels.
Those are so dope, and they're super approachable. Mark IVs are very, very approachable, and they come with their own basket case of issues. But what cool car doesn't? If you're gonna be really serious about it. But man, boy, hot hatches.
Man, like that was the thing, was getting like just spending too much time, frankly, in the Sprint Turbo. That thing is like, it's okay, 70 horsepower, right? It's not putting down massive power, but it's 79 pound-feet of torque. And it's 1,600 pounds. It weighs zero. It weighs so nothing. Light. Which means it's got the crash resilience of a dried pasta, but it was fun, and you feel the lightness, manual steering, it's very tossable, and it really made me think like, God, I'd love like a Mark II GTI.
Yeah,
would be rad. Or like it makes me really want to shop for a little bit more potent of a hot hatch, and that's not me throwing shade on the Sprint Turbo. It's actually, I don't want to call it better than it you would expect, but it is better than you would expect just looking at it on paper.
Yeah.
And like, something a little bit more substantial, but still like that kind of era, right? 80s, 90s would be great, because you can get something with two doors. It is going to be a little bit lighter, because I don't know what a Mark IV weighs, but it's probably at its lightest, probably 2,800 pounds.
I'd say, probably 28, 29 for sure.
Yeah.
Depending on how it's optioned. The Cooper S was right in your weight area too, because that's like a 2,600 pound car.
Yeah.
And those are just excellently balanced. Yeah. Good. And you never want more power. I think it's ridiculous. That supercharger, the R53 is rated at like 168 horsepower, but the thing runs like a 0 to 60 and almost the speed of an S2000. It's like something's not right with these numbers, right? I think that one's super like undervalued on the horsepower scale, but superchargers.
And the JCW put down what, like 205 or something?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And those are properly quick. And then you could get like the GPs, which were like just destroy a canyon car, Yeah. It's not even right how fast those things were.
Quick tangent. Have you seen like a new Countryman lately?
Yeah, it's
like a RAV4.
It's insane.
I'm like, what the hell? I was like, what is that? And I'm like, that's a Countryman? Like it's I thought it was like a Venza. Like it's enormous. It's like, it's not, it should just be called the Cooper. The Cooper Countryman. There's no Mini in it.
No, and the new Coopers are like they look horrible in four-door, guys. May I be serious about that one? It doesn't look right. Doesn't look right at all.
Yeah.
But the Fiesta,
I would want an OG Clubman though. Those are rad.
They're pretty rad. Yeah. I think R53 is my sweet spot in those cars. As far as like reliability, tossability, the supercharger is perfect for canyon stuff. Lightweight. They look right too, right proportions. That's my sweet spot. But the Fiesta ST was, I actually used that for a daily. It's definitely, I love the Recaros in it. The interior was nice. It was sunroof car. It had everything you needed. Push button start,
Hmm.
Ford Sync, which I thought was a pretty fine infotainment system for the
By
time
Microsoft.
when I had it. Yeah. And a lot of times I had clients in the city, San Francisco, which sucks to drive in, but with a
Sure.
speedy little car that you could literally park anywhere, it was like the perfect solution for that. And absolutely engaging. Good 6-speed manual. It had the hill stop start assist so you wouldn't roll
Yeah.
back, which is cool. And stop and go traffic, which was an unfortunate thing that you have to deal with here. It would actually roll a little bit on its own in first. It had a little bit of a traffic crawl gear to
Okay.
it. So, dude, that car was so good as a daily. And I got 31 point something miles per gallon mixed driving.
Yeah.
And it,
Just while we're on the subject,
yeah.
so day one in the Sprint, the Sprint Turbo.
Mm,
So the drive from my house in Martinez down to San Juan Batista,
okay.
and then then in like a day and a half, and then roughly a full day, nearly a full day of rally. What do you think it averaged on a tank?
What, first off, on the highway, fifth gear, you're probably at what, 4,000 RPM?
Close. If I
Like
it was
38?
due 35 at 65 miles an hour. It's doing 3,500 RPM.
Okay.
But I was
Wow.
running a little quicker than that. I was probably running 75 to
So
80 down
close to
there.
four, yeah.
Yeah, I was over four, probably 41.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would, it's tough to say. Because if you were chilling on the highway, that would help a little bit, but I can't imagine. So I'd say 24, 25, right in that ballpark.
37.4,
That doesn't even make
including a
sense.
rally day.
That doesn't even make sense, dude.
Yeah. I calculated it was just like, because if you had like 200, I don't remember, it was 270 miles or something like that on 7.5 gallons, 7.49 gallons or whatever it was. I was like,
Jesus.
what the hell?
That
And
doesn't
that's
make sense.
because Art basically, well, Art, he was behind the wheel when it started running out of fuel. It's not his fault. He did not run out of gas, but he got some seat time in it because his car blew up.
Yeah.
And then yeah, in that thing, and then we limped it to the gas station, and it only took 7.5 gallons. Well, it's got an 8.5 gallon tank, and you never really get that last gallon. But yeah, 37.4, which is astonishing.
That is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, little sipper. But that's the thing. Like these things, they're economical. They're
Mhm.
cheap to run. They're largely cheap to repair. Unless you've got like one of the very few exotic hot hatches, right? Like a Renault R5 Turbo or Delta Integrale.
Yeah, I was
right?
just gonna say, yeah.
Clio V6. Like that's kind of question. Would you consider a Juke R with the GTR powertrain? Is that a hot hatch?
That's some
Because
great
it's basically
territory.
slammed.
Those things are so goddamn homely looking, dude. I
Yeah.
can't stand it. I can't stand it.
The GTRs are pretty rad though. They got like ridiculous ass tires.
I mean, are we gonna go like HHR counts as a hatch? It's not really
Ooh.
wagon enough. Let's be honest.
Well, they call
not.
it a panel.
Right.
Well, you can get a panel.
You can get a panel
hatch,
version. You can. Yeah.
but it's a panel wagon. It's not a panel hatch. There's no panel hatch.
But if you
There's
look
no
at
crying
one,
in baseball.
if you look at one, I think it's more similar to like a Caliber SRT4 than a actual wagon.
Yeah, Caliber SRT4, the forbidden hot hatch. Yeah.
Never owned by anyone morally upstanding. Apparently,
Absolutely.
every
Yeah.
time I look at a used one, dude, I'm like,
Yeah. There's you can like scrape the meth residue off the inside of the glass, and
it's
Just-
horrible.
yeah, it's like living inside of a bong.
I'm
But,
not trying to typecast the car, but let's be honest.
No,
here.
but yes, I remember. I remember when those were new. I want to say what was the last year on those? Was it like 09?
Yeah, it was a short run. Yeah,
Yeah.
right after the
Because
neon.
it was like and it was like the recession hit, and then it was like, oh, this is dumb. But like that was part of the reason why like nobody bought them. It was like it was a bad product, and like it was right into the teeth of the recession. But I remember there was like huge sticker on, like huge money on the hood for every one of those cars, and they couldn't get rid of them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I want one.
I mean, they're pretty quick from what I've seen, and it's essentially just the neon SRT4 stuff carried over to a big lumpy looking hatchback.
Question:
Mm.
NX 2000 hot hatch?
It's hard. I don't know how I'd say that. I think so. Out of all the SR20 cars, other than like a
Yeah, it's the
well,
hatchy.
Pulsar
Like the
GTIR
Pulsar,
would
but we
be,
never
yeah.
got. Yeah,
Oh God, that'd be so good.
yeah.
Forbidden SR20 turbo power. That's a tough one. Maybe,
It's on the
maybe,
bubble.
maybe. Yeah, it's right there,
It's
right
funny
there.
if it was rear wheel drive, I would say no, which
No, yeah,
shouldn't matter, right? But
but
I
it kind
don't.
of does. It
But it
kind of
kind of
does.
does.
Hot
You
hatch,
know?
I think, is front wheel drive traditionally. I know there's some all wheel drive stuff we mentioned. Like the Focus
Yeah.
RS and the uh, what is the other one? We said a couple things, but yeah.
Lancer Rally Hour
Oh
Sportback.
God, dude. With that
Um.
DCT that just fucking grenades itself.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, but I mean, because what? There was a 1 Series hatch
In
in
Europe,
Europe that we never got.
sure.
That's a rear drive.
And
I
the
mean, what else? Like
S3, our S3 hatch
Chevy
would be
Citation,
okay. We're
like
pushing things.
or Chevette.
The Corsica a hatchback, the really rare one.
That's front drive though, still, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going traditional. But yeah, I was just
Okay.
thinking, for rear wheel drive though, you had like the GLA 45, right?
Those are all wheel drive.
Oh yeah, we're doing the are we doing rear only? There's not many
I was
rears.
trying to think. Yeah, I just couldn't think of any.
Uh
There's some bubble stuff, right? Like the
BMW 318 Ti.
yeah,
Oh,
I'll buy it.
let's
I'll
go with
buy it.
that. Yeah.
I'll buy that for sure. I would like one of those.
I know.
But you know what? You know what? I genuinely will be keeping my eye out for. I think would be like the proper replacement. Corolla FX16 GTS.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah,
Those are
cannot
very
find
cool.
them.
Yeah. You can't.
Very cool.
Mm-mm. Those are
Yeah.
cool for AGE in that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So
think they're good for like 110 ish
hell yeah,
horse.
super revy. I still take the Prism GSI hatchback if I'm gonna go all the way fucking obscure.
It is 4-door though.
Yeah,
I want my 2-door.
it's just so cool. I just
It's
want
cool.
something. I mean, there's
Yes.
probably 5 of those left in existence.
Nova. What about a Nova twin cam?
I would kill to get one of those, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God damn,
Not a
those are
hatch,
cool.
but
Still cool.
just bizarre.
We just talking about 4AG powered cars. The Celica GTS that was it, the AE92. I like those things, man, with the pop-ups, more like a
Yeah. That's still a Corolla.
yeah.
But the
Oh, that's right,
Celica,
Corolla.
the
Yep.
Celica that era would have been at like the ST62 or 65 for the all track. And those are cool. I don't know if I consider it a hatch. I mean, it
Ooh,
is. It's got
that's
even
right
Toyota
there.
didn't call it a hatch. They called it a lift back.
Right. Yeah.
So it walks that line. But yeah, I want that. I
Want
want
that
that
too.
Corolla FX16 GTS.
Yeah, those are great. Good luck. Yeah, good luck finding that. Those are always massacred too when you find them, right?
Yeah.
They're just it's sad.
Yeah, and I think fifth gear pop out's pretty common on those.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the one bugaboo other than rust.
Well, hey, how are we skipping over 323 GTX? If we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about all-wheel drive
Yeah.
turbo hatch, right?
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
talk about
Ooh.
hard to get.
Remember when we
Um,
saw that one and we both were
I
like,
know.
oh, let's get it. Oh, let's get it. Oh, let's get Oh, it's sold.
Yeah,
I was like,
message
God
the guy.
damn it.
Oh, I just sold it. Yeah. Well, what about the one you've been hunting for? You've been sending me midnight texts.
Have I? That sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, about a stablemate, so to speak, of my little car.
Yeah, so that one sold. Boy, that was rough. So I messaged the guy for a good amount of time. He was asking way too much money for the condition it was in. And when folks start talking about switching gauge clusters from something they got from Pakistan, I start to back down on an offer. It gets a little weird at that point. And that was that was going to be a Suzuki Swift GTI. So it was an early 89 car before Volkswagen threatened to crush Suzuki behind I don't know, a large industrial building. But dude, they're
Squish.
super cool. They're super cool. That's got the it's got a 1.3 little teeny 4-cylinder in it, but it loves to rev. It has like a 7,800 fuel cut. So it's a fun little revvy car, makes like 100 ponies. And it's similar curb weight to your bad boy there, the Sprint Turbo.
Yeah.
I think that would have been an excellent car. That was a low mileage one, but yeah, shady shit, dude. Like switching out gauge clusters,
Pakistani gauge cluster.
weird bumpers are missing. All like components are missing. It's just a little weird. Starts to get weird. Not as weird as that Grand Prix Turbo, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But
boy,
I'm also I'm looking at some weird stuff. But yeah, that's one of them. That would be a cool car. I'd love to get my hands on one of those for sure. The Swift GTIs. But talk about rare.
Well, what about Omni GLH?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Yeah. Like that would be rad, or the Mirage turbos.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And
That
the
would
yeah,
be
the Colt
Colt.
hatchbacks. Yep. The
Yeah.
I almost bought a GLHS Omni for $4,000. Uh, called the guy ready to leave, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Hey, I'm on my way." He's like, "I just sold it." And I'm like,
God damn it,
"Bro,
dude,
cash in
bro.
hand, ready to roll." 4 grand. Those things are pricey when they're fully restored, though. They're very
Yeah.
valuable cars now.
Yeah. Um.
Mm.
Damn. Yeah.
There's a lot
I
of hot
just
hatch. There's a lot out there.
and that's even. I know we mentioned the Pulsar, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of incredibly cool forbidden fruit hatches that we never got.
Europe got the
Europe
bulk
got
of it,
some
right?
great stuff.
Oh,
It's
the
funny if you just look, if you just go and you search like top hot hatches of the 90s or the 80s, you only find articles written in like the UK because it's all European stuff. Like
yeah,
that's who cares about those cars. You've got the
wonderful Peugeots,
yeah
Renaults, a lot of
205s,
French stuff. Yeah,
GTIs, yeah, a lot of all kinds of stuff we never got.
the old Focus five
Vauxhalls and
cylinders, the Focus
Opals.
RS. Yeah, Mm. So much
Um,
good stuff.
yeah, all of Ford Europe. Yeah. Um, and then also JDM stuff, right? You had the Starlet, you had the
Oh,
Pulsar, you
right, right.
had um the Mitsubishi the Mirage Cyborg, which is
Yeah,
dope.
super cool.
Which I actually got to drive one of those, except it was like a rally build with like solid mounts and a cage.
Right,
And it was rad. It was
dude, that's
very
cool.
buzzy,
Yeah.
but it had that 1.6. I forgot what they called their VTEC at the time. Not my
Oh,
was not MyVec. I
was
don't
it
know if it was
MyVec
my.
that early? I thought that came a
I
little
think
bit.
it was a different name. I think it was before MyVec. Um, but it was cool. It was killer. It revved to like 82.
Yeah, all the Type R goodness we didn't get for Civics,
Mhm.
the SIRs, which we never got.
Yeah,
A lot of
all
good
the
stuff there, right?
Suzuki and Isuzu stuff of that era that was really cool.
Ooh, how did we leave off
Not the
the?
K cars.
We left off like the iMark when we talked about hot hatches you could get here. That's a rare one, a Suzu iMark.
Was the iMark? Did they make a hot hatch one, or was it
Mm-hmm.
just a? Oh, you know
iMark,
what? I was thinking of the
iMark RS,
stylus.
right?
I was thinking of
And
the stylus,
yep, the Stylus was
the
the
sedan.
4-door Impulse.
Yes. Very cool. But yeah, it's just and it's one of those things. It's like, are you and I just brain damaged
Yes.
enough?
Oh, there's
But like
more.
from like and car enthusiasts like us, right? Where
Mm,
all these other markets got hatches and got wagons, and therefore we want what we can't have, and so we want all these cool out of market hatches and wagons, and we're just like, oh, this is obviously the superior way
mm.
to design a car is a hatch or a wagon, when everyone who isn't car idiots like us is like, no, where's my sedan, where's my compact SUV, like where, like I don't know. And what is a compact SUV other than a hatch on stilts? So
There's definitely some degree of influence there, right? You always want what you can't have. I think
yeah.
that's a natural thing.
Hmm.
But we have gotten some pretty good hot hatches here in the States, and I called out a couple that can be had like even kind of modernish if you're looking for like kind of what
Yeah.
you're looking for. Mazda Speed 3 can be had
Yeah.
for a really
Yeah,
good
they're
price,
good.
and those are good.
They
And the
boogie.
R53 Supercharged Mini, if you find a
Yeah.
well-sorted one, I think you can have a hell of a good time. Both of
Hmm.
those cars can be had well under 10K all day.
Focus
Um,
ST, man. Like
Focus ST as
if you want
well.
a little more modern,
Yep,
like a pinch more modern, and
yep.
just a great all arounder, um, they're such a bargain, and they hold up okay, right? Like they're not Lexus quality, but they actually hold up pretty well.
Yeah, I take the Fiesta ST on dynamics. I think the driving
Sure.
dynamics are slightly better. But if you need the space, and it's a Gulf fighter for sure, GTI
Hmm.
fighter. Can't go wrong there. Those are a little north of 10K for a clean one. Um,
Yeah, they are. They're a little bit more than that, but a
but
lot.
those
It's a lot of car.
Those Mazda Speed 3s are absolutely slept on, though. I remember when
Yeah.
those things came out and like it was like a big thing. Like BMW had like the 300 horsepower 335i, and people were like, "Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I got this 260 something horsepower, Mazda hatchback
Yeah.
that's damn quick as fuck too." But
Yeah.
yeah,
You want torque steer. They're good for it. In a good
absolutely
way. Again,
in a fun
hot
way.
hatch, playful, right?
Yeah,
Like they're not this like super serious suit and tie, you know, go like heavy track weapon thing. I mean, you can mod them, which is fun, but like
Mm-hmm.
you buy it for carving up a road and just having a giggle fest.
I think that's
Um,
it. Like they don't have to be designated as your sports car, right? Because
right.
they have such a functional use case. I mean, you got the hatchback form factor where you can just open the hatch, throw a bunch of shit in there, fold the
Mhm.
seats down. Yeah, and the thing is too, they don't draw unwanted attention. They don't stand out. You know, like a sportier car like an MR2 looks exotic, looks crazy, even though
Mhm.
the speed might not be difference between that and the hot hatch. That hot hatch just looks like a normal car most of the time, Chevy Sprint excluded.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying though, like it's just I don't know. You're right. It's just you can just live with a hot hatch. I think that's the allure.
Yeah, and they're designed to be lived with. Like that's part of the playbook. Um,
Hmm.
there's there aren't a ton of compromises, and
Sure.
like for most people, right? Like, um, most people aren't ever taking their car to the track, no matter how sporting they feel that they are. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it's they're very cool, and it is a shame that they're largely dead. I feel like we say that about every cool automotive product that isn't like,
It's the
boy,
truth.
if you want the multi-million-dollar hypercar, then this is a time to be alive.
You're
But
doing
us
well.
us mortals here, um, yeah, it's but it is fun. Like there's still this stuff is in the past, and then you go find it
Yeah.
and play with it. Yeah, Hatch. I'm keeping my eyes open.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a pivotal Tracer LTS. No, that wasn't a
No, no,
Hatch.
no, no, no.
That wasn't a
Definitely not.
Hatch.
Make
Uh,
hatches hot again, guys.
that's right. I will say, I did hang out with the guy you sold the Tracer to on the rally.
The
Your
tracer?
LTS. Sorry. Your LTS, the Mercury Tracer
Get
LTS.
out of here.
Yeah,
What was he driving?
I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, it came up. I forget. He mentioned that car in passing. I was like, oh, I had a buddy who used to have one of those. He's like, Chadwick. I'm like, yes.
The circles we
Yeah. He's
walk
like,
in.
I bought mine from him. I was like, what? Yeah, we had this conversation. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
That's dope, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said something, and I've sold a lot of shit boxes over the years, but I do recall having a conversation with
Hmm.
him, and he was like, "Oh, it's really for a fun thing. Me and my friends are buying like piece of shit domestic cars and seeing who can go to the furthest. Like they're doing some kind of road trip adventure." And I'm like, "Well,
Perfect.
this is fucking cheating because this is a Mazda. Let's be
Right.
honest,
Yeah.
right? The gearbox, the engine, everything that
Hmm.
counts." But he's like, "Well, they're not going to get that, so it's going to work." I'm like,
Right.
"Cool." That was a
Hacks.
sweet car, man. How many manual Tracer LTSs are still cruising around with the 1.8 Mazda engine?
Single digits.
Yeah, 100% true. That was a fun little car, man. That thing was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. There's got to be some other. I mean, we didn't really talk about Honda stuff. I mean, you mentioned your hatch, but
Hmm.
and the Type R, that doesn't really count. But um, I mean, CRXs.
Yeah. Yeah.
CRXs are rad. And that's a car you don't need. I mean, the SI is great, and it's like the spicy one, but it's not
Sure.
super spicy. Even just a standard non-HF CRX is pretty rad.
Pretty
Um,
rad. We never
I'd like
got
an
the
early
super.
CRX.
We never got the hot hatchback versions. They always give us like a CX or DX. They hated us. You could get the SI, which was spicy. I think you couldn't get an EK generation, but the EG you
Right.
could get the SI there. Yeah, they always did that to us, which I always thought sucked because they had so many
Hmm.
different levels of spicy. They had the SI, SIR, and Type R everywhere else.
Yeah.
However, but yeah, swapping hatches, man, it's if we didn't live in California, dude, I'd have a swapped hatch because
Yeah.
there's something cool about that. Like those things the EG was my EG was so light. And that
Hmm.
D15B, I'm going to say it, guys, this JDM VTEC engine, 1.5 liter, making 130 horsepower. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty damn respectable in a
Yeah.
car that
Especially for
light.
its era. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
it revved out like a mother. So it was what a blast that car was. Those things are light. It was like a CX, so it was the lightest one you could get. So
what about the egg shaped one with the K20 in it? Oh, is that the EG? I never
EG.
remember. I never remember.
It
Um,
came with a K20?
yeah, like the O, what is it, 03 to like 06 SI with the shifter in the dash, the one they built in the
Oh,
UK.
EP, right?
EP. Is it
Yes.
EP? I think
EP.
EP.
Yeah.
Extended play. Yeah. Um,
I think I'm almost
those are
100%
pretty good.
sure. Yeah.
Those are pretty good. I wish
Those
they
are
did
hated upon. Those are like obscenely because it does have a K series motor, but it's like
but it's the soft one. It's the
it's
limp stick one.
soft. It has 160 horsepower. It doesn't
Yeah,
rev as high.
I know.
But I
It just
agree.
got the wrong motor.
Yeah, they look cool as shit.
They should
Yeah,
have
the
done the
shifter coming out
SIR.
of the kind of
Mhm.
like gauge area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's the
those are
base
cool.
RSX motor.
Hmm.
When it should have gotten the RSX Type S motor, or could have. I don't know about should have, but it could have.
Yeah,
RSX,
close to hatch,
RSX.
right?
I'll call it a hatch. I'm
Yeah, let's
calling
go
it
for
RSX
it. Fuck
hatch.
it, we're going for it.
That's a hatch. Hatchy. Just Integra.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same.
Integras are great. I still really want a first gen Integra.
Oh,
Very
so hard
cool.
to find clean. Yeah,
Yeah, and those don't put out big power. It's like 110,
still
115.
cool. Still cool.
But they're still very cool.
Yeah,
That standard was it was still a B18 in the first gen, or was it a B16?
Ooh, good question.
I don't remember.
Oh.
Wow.
If we didn't have strict laws here, we could always swap it up.
Good.
But that's a good point though. I think part of the hot hatch recipe for Hondas anyway, now that we're in Honda, we're talking VTEC boys. I think one of the biggest things, and we miss out on, is the ability to swap in because there's a playbook.
For mods.
It's whatever you want. You can go get that motor. You can keep the D series. You can keep it old, run a B series. But everybody runs K series now because they're definitely an engine, a respectable engine. Shout out to the TSX. But yeah, dude, just that's what makes those Honda Civic hatchbacks so fun. Just swapping them out.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's good, dude. It's good times, you know. And I wish we could have that here. And I know you can bar them, but it's a pain in the dick.
I just thought of it's you or I will never own one of these. The hot hatch god Ferrari FF.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Or the GT4 Lusso. Yeah.
There's so much about the hot hatch recipe that's missing from those, but yeah, we'll go.
Right. Yeah. It's a, I don't even know, nuclear hatch. I don't know.
That's too much. Too much.
Yeah, too much.
Too sexy.
But yes, hot hatches. I wish they would come back, but until then, there's still a lot to choose from yesteryear.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really, man, a Veloster N as a daily would be so good.
So cool.
So such a good thing. It sucks that they kind of came and went and they didn't sell a billion of them. I don't see them that often, which is a shame because they got the motor that doesn't blow up when all the other Velosters did.
Mm-hmm.
And they look good. They sound fine.
They sound cool. Yeah.
They're put together. They're put together well enough. That would maybe be the next daily when I'm there. Ooh. When my decidedly unhot hatch, the CT200, spits the bit. So in 15 years, I'll have to get like a deeply depreciated. Although it will be in this like dystopian hellscape in 15 years. So
absolutely,
where it'll all be like nuclear fallout, and we'll be cracking each other's heads open, and just cars will be an afterthought, but
hot hatch will be perfect for that. It'll be perfect to live in that environment. Yeah,
mm-hmm. It'll be great.
Good Lord.
Real life.
Did we hatch it out enough? Did we hatch out the topic of hot hatches?
We did. Quick side note. On the DWA rally that I just came on, shout out to one of the sponsors, Hot Hatch Hot Sauce, which made a hatch. It had a Mark 1 GTI on it, and it was specifically for the rally. I haven't opened it yet, but I hear it's very good. And I'm a hot sauce guy, so I'm
nice.
I'm into it. Yeah,
I think they made it mild based on the rally participants.
Right. Well, I don't think they wanted people just like prolapsing themselves mid rally, like as they're driving because they ate too much of the hot sauce. That's
the challenge. Can we get to the next stage?
Prolapse challenge
without sharding all over our cars.
Yeah, without just like pink socking directly into your seat. But yes. So with that, and on that note, thanks for the hot sauce, fellas. Quite tasty. I assume. I'll find out.
I bet it is good. Let's transition now into a little game we like to play. And sorry to tell you, you're the victim this week. So I've got something especially devious for you. It's not really that bad, but I'm going to pull up this ad and you can go ahead and inform the viewers what you're going to be subjected to.
Oh my. So yes, this is our print ad quiz game. This specific edition, Chadwick is going to find some sort of a print advertisement from a magazine, perhaps a newspaper. I haven't seen any black and white newspaper ones yet, but one day, for an automobile. He's going to it's going to be somewhere from the 80s, 90s to the mid 2000s. He's going to read the type copy while redacting out anything hyper identifying about the car. It will then be incumbent upon me within 3 guesses in 10 minutes to guess the make, model, and approximate year of the automobile in the ad. I'm ready. Play along at home. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Chadwick, what you got for me?
Okay, good luck, everyone. Good luck, Frank. The ad itself is pretty cool. We got a one-pager. We have 3 different trims of the same vehicle, all represented in one ad. So there's 3 tiers. Pretty cool. This is going to be especially challenging because they say the name of the vehicle no less than 30 times. So
a lot of blanks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be blanking a lot, shooting blanks.
Yeah, well, what's new?
It's not considered a negative thing at our age, my friend.
That's true.
So
still shooting is
let's go ahead. I can't read shit. So, quick question. Do you want me to leave the price in there? Maybe I should leave the price in there, or should we?
Up to you. I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Okay.
The fun, it's blank. The fun starts here. $6,379.
Okay.
Definitely supercar territory.
Yeah.
When you're bold enough to call a car a blank, it better deliver a blank on the road. It does. It's a 4-speed propelled and quite peppy. Yes, this is the ad. This is in the used car dealership
quite
sticker.
Peppy.
with room for 5 and front wheel drive. And it's rated at 51 estimated highway, 34 EPA city. Oof. So that's a huge disparity. Besides lots of MPGs, it gives you the precise feel of the road. And if you're a blank kind of driver, that feels like fun. That's the lowest level.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to sign you up for tier 2.
Upgrade you.
The 2.2 version. So keep in mind, this is the upgrade. And there's still one more. So you're over $1,000 more expensive at $7,438. There's a whole lot of blank in this blank. The 2.2 liter overhead cam engine stomped. I'll just say it. I won't say the year of the cars.
Sure.
280 ZXs, Camaro Z28s, and Trans Ams with a 0 to 50 clocking of 5.8.
Ooh, that's a good 0 to 50
actually
time.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
There are 3 asterisks after that statement, by the way.
Okay.
We might qualify that. That's fast, and this is efficient. 46 highway, 28 city. Okay. It's almost unbelievable that a car that goes this fast should get this kind of mileage, but it's true.
Wow.
That's your second tier. And my friend, if you want to step into the big spender room, the high roller table, if you will, you can shell out $8,290. So again, it's an $800 price jump over the mid tier. I can't say anything about the little tagline here. It's just blank version. This is it. The ultimate blank to be had from a blank. Its paint trim and spoilers look serious. And believe us, this one ain't just paint.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's a modified 2.2 liter engine that lets the blank stun the competition with acceleration of 0 to 50 in 5.5 seconds.
Oh, look out, world.
No more of that 5.8 bullshit. This is a 5.5 car.
I'm stunned.
Blank's fuel consumption, they're really hitting this. So this is going to give you some good error that we're working with, especially the prices. 40 highway, 25 city. Frank, that is unfortunately all I have for you.
Boy.
And we're going to go ahead. Let me get a clock going for you. You have 10 minutes. Good luck, my friend.
So, quick question. You said it stomped the 2.2 middle tier.
Mm-hmm.
Not basic bitch, but the middle tier stomped. You said 280ZX and who else?
280ZX, Z28 Camaros, and Firebird. So they didn't just take a shot at the Chevy.
Right. Okay.
They went after the Pontiac.
Oof.
Which offends me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they build driving excitement. So... What I don't know is I didn't hear turbo in there anywhere. Single overhead cam, 2.2 liter, or no turbo. they're very horny about how like, oh, we have if we're gonna name it a burr burr burr, then it has to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me think. So if it's 280 ZX is still in production, this has to be 83 or older, right? Maybe 84 if they're
Sounds
kind of
pretty.
dancing around the edges there.
Yeah.
Um, and let's face it, beating an 82 like Firebird or Camaro, and they didn't specify which, right? Those could have been iron duped garbage.
Well, Z28,
cans.
right?
Oh, Z28. Okay,
Mhm.
sure. So it's 150 horsepower, 305.
That's a big boy.
So I'm gonna take a stab here because I think this is too early for the Daytona, and I'm gonna say this is but I would expect there to be more turbo talk, unless it's part of the model name and that was part of the many words that got redacted out. So I'm gonna say this is a 1983 Dodge Charger in all of its guises. Final answer.
Charger. The fun starts here.
Haha. Okay.
It is the Dodge
Yeah.
Charger, and how they did the ad was quite funny. They added an extra R each time, so the first stage was Charger, second was Charger, and then it was Charger. It's the ad, my friend, and all its.
Did it not say turbo in there?
Did not mention the word turbo at all,
Weird.
and we knew they had a turbo. There's no way they were running 5.8 on a stock 2.2, naturally aspirated.
No, yeah, and that's what kind of was kind of because that's the thing in this era. If it's a turbo, you are screaming it from the top of the mountaintops, like it is on the seatbelt,
or it was in the name.
It is on the
it was
bumper,
in the name of the car,
or it's in the name.
Yep.
But it wasn't on this.
The final Charger is just called the Shelby version.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured.
They didn't call it like a Shelby Turbo Z like they did with the Daytona to flash off that. They did not call any attention, nothing in this entire ad about a turbo.
That's so bizarre.
Right?
It was kind of throwing me, but I was like, 2.2, anything in this era.
Maybe they weren't really trying to.
Nothing else.
Maybe turbos weren't trusted at the time. Maybe it wasn't reliable technology. Who knows? They named naturally aspirated cars the entire time.
Well, it was Dodge of the era, so everything they were doing was unreliable technology. Anything not named a Slant 6 or a Chrysler 318.
Those 2.2s are pretty decent, dude. Get out of here. As far as turbocharged engines
everything else
from the
around
80s,
them, the transmissions, the everything.
They looked cool. They looked cool as shit.
Get a base one of those now with a 4-speed. Let's go.
It doesn't exist. That thing's gone. That thing's gone.
Way gone.
Good job, man. Killed it.
Hey.
We haven't done that car yet, so I was pretty surprised.
Weird.
And yeah, we did. I think we did a few iterations of the Daytona and
and the Omni. I think
we did. Yep.
Colt. So, yeah. So
I think Sundance was on there. So gotta bring the Charger in. Hey, I'll take a Sundance Duster any day of the week, though. Let me tell you.
Well, very good. We've done it.
We made it through.
Hey, do you want to tell the people what you've been doing or not doing for your PCP?
Project Car Progress. So I literally wrote. I was excited to talk about my new car purchase, a car that was represented very well in the photography and the ad, and like lived up to about 40% of that.
Ugh.
Best case scenario. And it was such a heartbreak, dude. So we're talking about a 1990 Pontiac Grand Prix Turbo. This is a car that was a production for 89-90, only 3,500 units ever created. This is a Turbo 3.1. Super cool car, man. Just they look fucking cool. And you guys know me. I'm Pontiac plastic cladded guy. And this kind of is the best of the best if you're going to look for that kind of stuff. So I go to check out the car, dude, and I'll keep it kind of sweet. Well, not sweet. I'll just keep it short. Dude, paint was not perfect. It was resprayed at one point. In the ad, it looks fucking near perfect. And it's a low mileage car. It's 88K, which I consider pretty low mileage for a 90 Pontiac. But the paint was already bubbling on one of the fender flares. One of the hood vents was bubbling. I'm like, okay, I can work with that. And then the more you look, the more you notice horrible shit, right? So one of the headlights was melted, and I'm like, well, that was a bad short at one point. I'm sure that's not too easy to fix. One of the taillights was jacked up. All the little stuff like that. The special lower valance, which is only on that car, completely like chopped in 3 pieces. Just
Yeah.
like that'd be a pain in the dick to fix.
Right.
Interior seats were torn, the normal shit you find with a 90s
Sure.
kind of economy car. So I'm like, okay, that stuff's all right. So I get in the car. These things had this new ABS system. I don't know if you're too read up on this. GM did it in a few cars around this period where
Okay.
it's not traditional vacuum. It's more like electronically controlled, and
Hmm.
it fails 110% of the time. So when I went for the test
Yes.
drive, the guy's like, "This one," because I asked him, I'm like, "This is like a known issue. These fail the brakes, and you
Yeah.
literally can't stop." And he's like, "No, perfect." First time I go to stop, just coming out of his little housing area, I almost rear end the car in front of us. Both
Ugh,
feet down, it feels like a softball is underneath the brake pedal. It's
tight.
miserable, dude. And then it will be like, then it will lock up, and then it will be nothing. Like there's play, then there isn't play, and then
Yeah.
it's a horrible system. So regardless, and he couldn't smog it because this is the deal breaker. It had an aftermarket intake, which for
Okay.
the test drive, Frank. Whoop, like with a
So
Pontiac
dope.
Grand Prix. It's so
Yeah. Oh,
dope, dude. With a
three
car that was
one.
like, and it
Yeah.
was so loud.
Uh,
That intake is bespoke. The stock airbox and
mhm.
intake for those cars, because they only made 3,500 of them. No other car had a 3.1 turbo. So it only, except for the STE version, and those are exceptionally rare too. They only made a few
Right.
hundred of those. Doesn't exist. You cannot find that stock airbox anywhere. So to get that thing through smog, I don't even know what you could, I don't even know what you do. It might be
Right.
one of those cars
You
that's
just
like
don't.
stuck in limbo that can't be registered.
Yeah.
And he hadn't registered, and he had it for a year. And I was like, okay, well, I lowballed him, you know, respectably. I'm like, you're
Sure.
asking a bit too much. I think he's asking 6,500, which
Yeah.
is,
We're like 2,800.
yeah, no, I came in at 4. I came in
Yeah.
at 4, and I was like, I'll be able to fix up most of this stuff, come up with a solution for the airbox because it ran way quicker than I would think. It was
That's cool.
basically my Bonneville supercharged, a little step above that, but same
Okay.
kind of like it
Yeah.
pulled like a fucking train, dude.
Hell yeah.
And I would put that intake back on for fun driving because it was
Yeah.
silly. It was
That's
stupid
fun.
fun. But cool car, man. Nonetheless, it had the infinite seat adjustments and all that kind of fun stuff.
Hmm.
Heads up display, all the fun shit I love from like Pontiac and cars from that period. But just
Yeah.
too many question marks, right? Yeah, to make sense. 6,500, no way. Way overpriced.
Yeah. For sure.
Ah,
Very cool.
tough one though,
Well,
man.
I'd like to say there's plenty of fish in the sea, but that particular fish
No.
there just aren't.
You will no. It's the only
Oh,
one for
man.
sale in the country. And he
Yeah.
said that like 3 times. I'm like, I get it, dude. Trust me. I know.
I
I've been
understand,
looking
but
for these for a long time. I
right.
very much know.
Right. It's also not like a 73, 911 RS, right? It's like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a split window Corvette, basically. I'm like, well,
yeah. I did a thing
Mm.
in the Sprint Turbo. So I think where we last left off, I was prepping it for the rally, which was not doing a whole lot to it.
Mm.
I checked the oil and there was oil in it. Hooray. So I did swap out the brake proportioning valve.
Nice.
Bled the brakes the morning of the rally, like the morning driving up there for day zero. It bled. It was great. It got fresh, sparkling, all brand new fluid. I flushed it all out, new fluid. Everything's great.
Cool.
Brakes they're not good.
No.
But
Drums,
they were
right? That one has
rear
drums in the rear.
drums,
Yeah.
non-vented front discs, dead axle in the rear.
Mm.
So on the rally, it did quite well for what it was.
Mhm.
I had no want for more power, believe it or not, because the steering is good,
Wow.
shifter is good, brakes not good, tires worse, right? They're 155, 70, 12.
Oh, horrible.
Petlas Elegant brand tires with no tread wear rating to them. Like literally we got to the end, someone was like, "Holy shit!" And just like looking at the front sidewall of my tires because I was driving it on the sidewalls because it was like just in turns, just understeering, just pushing it and
Holy
not
shit.
debeating the tires, but just I was driving the car.
Yeah.
And so it did well. The only as I said, Art and myself almost ran it out of gas because as it turns out, the quarter tank mark apparently is completely empty and the fuel light never came on.
Great.
So yeah, that's good. So I discovered that the seats are garbage. They're very cool looking, but there's no adjustability, there's no support. They don't hold you in.
Oof.
They look excellent, but they don't The whole car, interior wise, there's really nothing to offer.
Mm.
Um, I did have my first on any rally, my first actual mechanical failure.
Oh.
So when I was on the Cavrillo Plain, which is in the middle of nowhere on Highway 58, it's literally just a solar farm, like 30 something miles away from anything.
Mm.
We were driving out to you go to Soda Lake. There's a lookout. People get out there, and so I was driving out there. I think it was Warren was coming the opposite direction of me, and I flick my high beams at him. Well, before that, back up a little bit. I was running in a group with some air cooled Porsches, as one does in their Chevy Sprint Turbo.
Absolutely.
And they pulled off for a little bit, and I pulled off with them. And when I pulled off, and I had my Bluetooth speaker, so I turned that thing off, and then I realized I was like, car's off. I was like, I didn't shut it off and shut it off. It keys in the run position.
Oh.
So I go to stick, turn it over, dead.
Nothing.
Like, dead. I'm like, shit. So I pop the hood, right? One of the guys has a multimeter. We threw it on the battery, and it's got like 10 volts.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
like,
not
well,
good.
that ain't doing it.
Mm-mm.
And so I go to put my jumper box on it, and I notice the battery terminals aren't quite tight. Like I can just wiggle.
Oh.
They were loose, but like I can. They
Yeah,
were
that's
far looser than they should be. And I was like,
especially in a
I'm
rally,
pretty
yeah.
sure I had tightened this up, but whatever. So I tighten it up, right? Throw the jumper box on it, fire it out. And I go, okay. Also, when I had when I was doing the multimeter, because I was running with the headlights on, because any added tiny level of safety in that car I wanted, right? So I'm driving with my headlights on, make
Look at this guy.
a tiny bit more visible because it's a tin can. So when I did the multimeter, I turned everything off, headlights off, whatever. So put the jumper on it, right? We're driving. I go, oh yeah, put the headlights on, keep driving. And as we're driving, I remember we're going to as I said, this lookout down this road. And my thought was like, maybe it wasn't, the connection wasn't great to the battery. And so maybe it wasn't properly charging the battery. And that's why, it just wasn't charging correctly. It's like,
right.
I have nothing else to go off at this point. Let me tighten this up. It fired up on the jumper box. It was running. Let's go. So we're going, I don't know. It's another 15 miles down the road. And I saw Warren come in the opposite direction. So I gave him the flick the high beams for like the homie hello, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed I'm like, I'm like,
damn, all your
Good.
juice.
That ain't good. Like that if it almost kills the car by hitting the high beams. So I turned the headlights off. So I turned the headlights off. We get to the next pullover spot where everyone's meeting up. So I pull over there. The car's running, and I'm like, I wonder. Headlights on. Yep. Shuts it down. I go, okay. Something right here. So pop the hood, borrow the multimeter again, right? Battery sitting at 9 volts. Start it up with the jumper box, make sure everything's off. Put the multimeter to it. It's only charging 11.4.
Yep.
11.3, 11.4, flipping back forth. I mean, alternator's done. So shit. All right. Well, it's an internal regulator. It's a fairly modern regulator or alternator. 55 whole amps for the car.
Essentially, it powers one incandescent light bulb.
Yes, effectively. So okay, I jump it. I go. Let me see if I can limp this thing back to the hotel, which is it's a ways away. Not insane, but like an hour drive.
Ooh.
So let me just see. It's running right now. So I got probably maybe another 10 to 12 miles down the road.
Okay.
And in this Cavrillo Plain, we're just solar fields for fuck all on 58. I feel like I barely able to maintain. It's sputtering, barely able to maintain power. I was like, I'm done. Like I'm cooked. So I wait for this. Like there's a good turnoff. I roll into the turnoff. I stop there. It's basically like a log turn in to like go into the solar farm, but it's gated, so it's a lot of space. So this is a good spot. So I roll into there and I shut it off. I don't even shut it off. It just shuts itself off as I'm rolling in. Okay, I actually had reception. Here's the Cliff Notes version. called Haggerty Roadside, which was included with the rally, which I've never had to use before. And they were great. They sent a driver. I talked to the driver. I'm like, hey, man, if I just leave the car here and put the key in the visor, car ain't going anywhere. Can you just grab, or do I have to wait here for you? Can you just get it and bring it back to the hotel? He's like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll drop it up at the hotel. I'll just put it in front. Like, okay, cool. And then the homie Tom Park in his yellow Volvo A50R manual swap, which is dope. Stopped through like as I was calling parts places trying to find a fucking alternator for a Chevy Sprint Turbo, which apparently is turbo specific because like if I gave them the non-turbo, they gave me like a different price and whatever. So the only one we can find was in fucking Bakersfield. And so I figured this out while Thomas rolls up, him and Lawrence, another homie. And they're like, well, we were kind of thinking about like just finding a different road to go and kind of going further down 58 anyways. Like, we'll give you a ride to Bakersfield. I was like, okay, like lunch is on me. So it was an hour and a half there, another like hour and 40 minutes back. We stopped at the lunch spot. Everyone was gone at this point. It was like 4:00. I bought them lunch and beers, and then we drove to the next and gas. We drove back to the hotel. It was like 2 hours before dinner. We had the alternator, $177. Yeah, I threw it together swapped it out in the parking lot of the Best Western, and it fired right up and charged. I jumped it and fired right up and went. And
hell yeah!
Thank God for jumper boxes. And yeah, it was we did it. So yeah, now it's I got the car back. It runs great. I think I am going to get the front and rear bumpers painted to match after all the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I like it with the gray texture. I think it looks good, but I kind of want it to be right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get those painted, and then like I might just move it on. Like I really like it, but I had my fun with it, and I kind of want to get it, as I said, like the keynote of this whole episode of like I kind of want a more substantial hot hatch.
I need to review that thing, man.
We have
to log that in the immortal stone that is my review. I would do that. I will kindly fill it up with fuel. I will fully detail it. I'll do small maintenance items.
There we go. Yes, there's not a whole lot. There's like nothing to maintain. It's incredibly rudimentary.
Right now.
Yeah, you take the 12-inch wheel and tire off like one hand. You're like, oh god, over here, and it's incredibly basic, but it's cool. All the rubber, all the suspension actually looks really good.
Oh,
there's nothing torn. There's nothing cracked. Like all of that. I did buy motor mounts, and they actually look okay. They don't feel great, so I think there's maybe one of the transmission mounts that's kind of wonky. I'll have to dig further.
Cool.
But otherwise, it's going to be good to go. So definitely get some seat time in it. And
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward
turbo.
to that.
Recommend.
I've always loved those things, and I definitely would like to shake one down. And I think it'll be laughable, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be quite serious when we do the numbers.
It's laughable.
I want to get the real curb weight, which is something I want to see. That's what I love to do. And then I want to see.
My guess is going to be
1671
is my guess.
That sounds about right. I think it's going to be lighter than the convertible Metro.
Yeah,
but that was pretty light. That was in the low 17s. So.
Yeah, that was like 1710 or something, right?
Yeah, so you're probably right. Like I'm going to say, dependent on fuel level, probably 1650. Yeah, I'll undercut you a little bit, but I'll be curious.
I like how a full tank can sway it like 10% in
percentiles. Yeah, that'll be fun, man. I want to see this real 0 to 60 in quarter mile times too. That'll be kind of interesting data to have.
Hell yeah! Well, cool. Fantastic, man.
That sounds fun, man. I'm glad. I got to get my shit together, dude. I've wrapped up all my major home projects, so I'm starting to crank on vehicles again. Got to get the Gallant up. I got to get that thing out rallying.
Yeah, for sure. So that needs to happen. If people want to see your trials and tribulations doing just that, where can these good people figure that out? Where can they stalk you?
I need to actually start making content again, but it'll be at the Auto Obscure Garage official.
Hey.
Check it out, mostly on YouTube for your rescues, restorations, and reviews, mostly obscure ship boxes. So that Sprint Turbo will do just fine.
There we go.
But yeah, check me out there. And Frank, where can the good folks follow your world-class universe class photography?
Galactic quality. Just the photographer's garage on the places and the things. But more importantly, just keep listening to us here. This is a lot of fun. We're going to continue to grow and evolve this thing slowly but surely. Can't stop, won't stop. So yeah, at APA Podcast on the Abandoned Instagram, wherever you're listening to your podcast, like you're doing right now, keep doing it. Tell your friends, do the rating things. Apparently that's good in ways that I can't understand, but apparently it helps us. I don't know. That's what I've been told. So
and
do
YouTube, please check us out. Subscribe, guys. Jump on there, leave some crazy
Smash
comments,
that like and subscribe button, and yeah, slap your junk on the notification icon.
Ding ding,
yeah, ding a ling,
ding ding with your dong dong.
And on that fantastic
imagery
send off, thanks. Oh, hey, real quick, one last thing. Look what I found. My mom was cleaning around in her house. She's like, "I found this. You know what this is for? This is the front plate that never got installed on the '98 Acura Integra. That I had, that she bought new, and she didn't want a Joe bumper. So this is the original plate.
It looks
that car,
absolutely
wherever it is,
perfect.
Yeah, it's never been mounted on anything.
Wow.
It's just been like, she's like, "Oh, I found this in her drawer. Do you know what it's due?" I was like, "I do," because I remember it was 3X.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Do you think somebody's like it's 3 times?" Whatever. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So with that,
we're out. Take care. Love you guys.